double dip situation. Craig has to win 1, Kaleb has to win 2. We've seen him do it 1,000,000 times. Can he do it 1,000,001? We'll find out. On behalf of Tammy Klinger, my partner here, the Mississippi Ninja, I'm sure would like there to be no other voice.
I want to be the Kentucky Cutie.
You want to, is that what you want? Is that what you want?
Mississippi Ninja. Can I have Kentucky Cutie?
Well, let's see. Daniel Lilly is the Manchester Menace. I've nicknamed him that. Let me see the Kentucky.
Oh, I haven't gotten a nickname. Everyone else does.
I got to figure. Well, I just figured that one out this morning. I got to figure it out. You typically don't give yourself your own nickname because when you do, it gets bastardized and then you end up not liking it.
True.
So we'll have to figure it out.
Fine. I'll leave it up to you and Phil.
Well, bluegrass babe, that works. But that sounds almost sexist.
But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to step out and
very good.
let Daniel and you finish calling these last final games.
I think it'll be a good final. Thanks, Tammy Klinger. She and AT. What a ring around the UK they ran, and more pictures coming, I'm sure, and we'll have those to report. But now Daniel Lilly steps in, and I'll tell you something right now. If we had written a script, this is probably what it would have said.
This is it.
But man, oh man, an opportunity for it to be flip-flop, because this is the first time that I think probably Craig has had to be double-dipped by Kaleb in quite some time, and it's happening here in the UK.
It's actually, I think it's for Craig's first ever competitive victory before, wasn't it, against Kaleb, to bring Kaleb down into the loser bracket, right?
Yeah.
So
first time in 4 years, I think he said he had put Kaleb in the loser's bracket. So as he holds the king seat, this is going to be a shootout as well. I think you're going to see a lot of offense. I think you're going to see some very clever defense, and then you're going to see a lot of what you just saw there. Bang, bang, bang. It's going to be an air show.
Breaking the back of the bull.
Right. So what is your what's going to be your announcer phrase? What's your big, because William Howell has boom and Philip has any number of things that cause me pain.
Yeah. You know what, these guys before, I think me and my brother was actually commentating on them before, and it was so repetitive, like very good repetitive. Like, when you get something repetitive and you're like, oh God, come on. But it was like, because we're watching absolute class being performed in front of our eyes, it's amazing. So I've not really got a saying, to be fair. If it was like darts, then I could say 180 real loud. That'd be really cool.
180, yeah, right.
but it's pointless saying like 4-bagger or anything like that, because these guys just do it constantly. So. So it's
well, it's funny. I didn't realize I was doing it, but after a certain number of majors and finals, then I would watch some of these amazing shots. It occurred to me as I would watch back just to see the games again and make sure we were hitting on all points or whatever. I found myself saying the phrase, "How about that?" a lot, and I'm like, that's not really a catchphrase. That's just my reaction to everything that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
So for me, and again with Philip and the CBC boys have different, double 4-baggers and different things that they like to call, but whatever it comes, it'll come organically. And as the Manchester Menace, I trust you to come up with the perfect way to express yourself. So here on center court at the ACO Europe Major with Daniel Lilly, our Europe CO certified official. How about this for a final World Singles match? Craig Ervin sitting in the king seat against Kaleb, who has to double dip him.
Crazy. Both from the same brand as well, which is so it's a pleasing one for the old Gusto, right?
What's that?
It's from the same bag brand company as well, so it's always a good thing for the brand owners, when they've
no question, both
in the
of them
final.
Throwing Gusto bags, I do believe. So the Kaleb's 4-0 lead holds as they move down to the other end to collect. Interesting, you'll watch. The only player in the ACO that I've noticed who bites his nails when he plays is Kaleb.
Kaleb hurt, yeah.
And I don't know if that means that he's nervous or if it's just a thing that he does, but
yeah, it's I don't personally bite my nails. I used to actually, and got out of it actually.
Yeah.
But maybe if I was in his precious situations, then I'd have no fingers left myself probably.
Right. I wouldn't be able to throw a cornhole bag. I would be able to skewer it and perhaps kebab it, but I would have nothing left. I'm with you.
Have you had a kebab over here yet?
I have not had one over here. No, I've been sticking pretty much to fish and chips everywhere I go, because it's sort of, when I go to New England, I want to see who has the best clam chowder.
Yeah.
And when I'm here, I want to see who has the best fish and chips. So once again, if you're just joining us or if you've been watching all day, what a day it's been. You've seen some great matches, and we've seen some fun stuff. Earlier we had Tom Collins against A.T. Klinger in the Battle of Cornwall. That was a grudge match with no actual grudge. We've seen some great finishes. Our man Byron Smith from Scotland took the juniors, our first ever actual European division major, and I bring him up because I'm watching him over on court 8 right now, just playing and warming up and continuing to sharpen his skills. He's a name that you're definitely going to want to watch out for. Byron Smith, mark it down. 4-on-4, Craig has tied it up with Kaleb, and these guys, this is going to be a battle.
Yeah, still got a nice small crowd here as well. It's great to see.
Yeah, I love seeing those who are hanging around center court to see what happens. Clearly, the SVC folks, Tammy and Junior, we laughed. We're gonna have, if we're gonna do more in Europe, which I know we are, we're gonna have to get a hold of the folks in Atlanta, Georgia, at my friends at the Waffle House corporate office, and tell them to start opening some Waffle Houses over here, because that's where they typically have to eat, because it's the only place open when their nights are done during our majors, because they're always here until the very, very end. And you can see why.
Yeah, my brother's just said there, I don't know if you said, but my brother's just said it.
Jamie,
yeah, it was an honour to watch these two play before. He kind of co-commed as well with me as well, which is great on them. So, and he was just like I said, repetitively saying 4-bagger. It was crazy. So it's great to see.
Well, and a lot of times, and you've seen this from watching different streams from the U.S. when you're here, is, we start to recognize, Philip and I, when the game turns, and it turns from offense, as we discussed, to defense, but then you get back to that point, it's like they play a game that's who's going to make the first mistake, and how can I capitalize on that mistake. And you see so few mistakes from guys that play at this level, and women as well.
Yeah. Well, I'll be taking Kaleb back to his hotel room, and I said, well, let's see if you can double dip, and I'll be taking a winner back in the car.
There you go.
We'll see.
There you go. Well, we shall see. We've crowned plenty of winners. Like I said today, Byron Smith took juniors. Kim Dice took the women's division, and Junior Williams took seniors. And, well, I tell you, Junior had himself a hell of a weekend. He scored the doubles win with Kaleb earlier. Kaleb had a... We had a blind draw win.
Yeah, big blind draw win as well. Yeah, that was
and then the Ervins took the co-ed. So,
yeah.
And we talked about this too as well. You can take the ACO center court and put it anywhere on the planet you want. It tends to look very similar.
Yeah. We had, like I said, we had the first UK ever in historic with Byron Smith, but then we've also had a Tier 3 winner as well, which is, it's Tier 3, but Nick Petit as well.
Oh, is that right? Did Nick win? I didn't see the results of Tier 3.
Yeah, nice little trophy there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so 2 UK winners actually, although it's in a higher tier, but it's still 2 UK winners. It's great, so.
Ultimately, we'll be sending somebody from this tournament over to the World Championships back as we return to Throwensboro, Kentucky here at the end of July. That's awesome. The top 8 European performers here will become ACO pros and be able to help spread the word, spread the love as these two push. And the lead remains 6-4, Craig, and the king seed has to be double dipped by Kaleb right now, who holds a 4-point score and a 2-point deficit.
The good news is we're actually sending 2 players to the ACO major, World Championship.
Really? Now they're going to be 2. Okay, terrific.
So the deal, the situation was very quickly is I came top, and then 2 finished tied as well underneath me.
Is that right?
Yeah. So obviously I couldn't win. So we give it to John Steins and Lee McGrath. So both of them 2 will be coming to
Is
the
that
Worlds,
right?
yeah.
Outstanding. Oh, that's great. Well, you heard it here first. Breaking news. I didn't know that until you sat down. That's great. Now, I love the fact that you say, of course, I couldn't win. But I think, absolutely you had every right to take the championship and go, but I love the spirit of what you've done now. And John Steins has been a champion since day one, since we started working together, and he's been a big supporter of the ACO with the taco and everything else that's gone on, and obviously we're working with the equipment, and it's just been a stalwart in the entire thing. So I think that's great that those 2 will be able to make it over.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I know our friends from Cornwall are going to be coming back. At least some of them will be. in July. I think Matt and his crew from the Par Inn. So that'll be cool. And what other areas of the UK have been represented as we watch these guys continue to battle back and forth?
So yeah, we've got a lot of constituency down in Ashby de la Zouch. Obviously, the Ashby Baggers, they've got around 35 players in their team. But then we've got players actually all over now. So in regards to clubs, do you mean? And represent? So the ACO pros that have been the 8 pros that have been announced today, they are all spread across the UK from right the way down south to all the way up to Scotland.
Love
so it's a great thing for the ACO, and also, like I said, our clubs just keep increasing here in the UK. We basically started with 8 players 2 years ago, and now we've got like over 100 competitive players,
great.
and it's going really well. So it's going very good, and long may it continue. Our Jamie's just said as well, who's winning the UK doubles? So over in the far courts, there is a UKCL blind draw happening as well, and it's currently John Steins and Richard McDonald versus Nick Petit and Craig Smith. So that's the final that's going on over there.
Very good.
While this men's major final is proceeding to be in Craig's favour at the minute.
Right, and Nick, who has his back to us now, pitching over there in the doubles that you were just discussing, he was the former jockey. Is that correct? Did I understand that correctly?
Yes.
He broke his back riding horses and didn't realize it until a day later when he was playing something else. He was off doing something else, and then he said, they took me to the hospital. He goes, they put me in a bed, and I didn't get back out of it for 6 months. But so we talk about ACO B4. Oh, he took that chance out right to left and just missed it, Craig. But we talk about the ACO before, which is, what did you do before Cornhole? What did you do before the ACO? So we're looking forward to getting his story together and featuring that on an upcoming edition of the Taco. And McDonald, what's his nickname? Is it Macus?
Macus,
He's
a crazy dude, right?
He's a piece. He's the different gravy.
Yeah, he's a different gravy. He is definitely different gravy, definitely. But like you mentioned, the tackle there as well. Hopefully now the tackle is going to be viewed more with these guys as well, and certainly everyone that's played over it, and also gives us more content as well for the tackle, right? And that's going to be a good thing as well going forward. But we're also going to be sending, because we are sending John and Liam over to the US for the Worlds. They're going to be doing some kind of like interlude and report back, and on the tackle and in the Hull magazine and stuff like that. So yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great going forward. And unfortunately, I can't make it this year, but next year I'm 100% coming to season 20 without a doubt.
That's terrific.
See what Craig can do here. Can he collect?
Coming in flat and off to the side. That is
not like Craig.
Every once in a while we see one like that. Typically, if it comes from Kaleb or Craig, we'll call it a unicorn, because it's not something you see very often.
It's not at all, no, definitely not.
Well, he's got that middle lane available to him, and he just lets it go.
Caleb's done really well here to bring this one back.
Yeah,
really
16 over 12 right now, and I'm sure there are plenty in the SVC watching in Virginia. Kaleb due to be married here in June, so every extra little bit of cash helps.
Without a doubt. I've been chauffeuring Kaleb and Junior about and Tammy. So I've saved them a bit of money in Uber fees without a doubt. So that'll help them out a little bit.
That'll come out. Yeah, that'll help. Yeah. Well, if that's the case, I'm going to tell them I want open bar at their wedding.
Yeah, that's a good shot.
I'm going to say Daniel said it's cool to have open bar. But I think it's been a great experience as well. We've mentioned so many from the breadbasket and heartland of the states that have come over: Missouri, Arkansas, Kentucky. These guys in from Virginia. Chad and Kim coming in as part of their excellent cornhole adventure, and we're in from Ohio, and William Howell in from California, Chandler Jones in from Alaska.
Yeah,
it's just I think not just coming here to set the table for more European participation in the ACO, but then going home and becoming ambassadors for here to have people come back with us next time we come. So looking forward to all of that.
Yeah, no, it's great. It looks like a little bit of commotion over on the far side. It looks like it seems like there's a bigger tournament going over there, which there definitely isn't. But
it's louder, I'll tell you that much. So they took down Steins and Macus, didn't they?
Yeah, yeah.
It looks like. I can't believe they're not taking more photos in front of that final scoreboard, but they'll get there one day. They'll realize that stuff is good bulletin board material.
Yeah.
Oh boy, there's a bag that got away from Kaleb there, taking off.
He's got
right
two
to
out
left.
though. He's got two out though. If he gets this in, it'll still be a point to Kaleb here, I think. Oh, he's
boy,
missed.
he leaves it
I
up
think,
top.
I think that is free to Kaleb, right?
That's too bad.
Is that a 9-6? Is it?
Yeah,
oh no, it's just a one. It's just a
picking
one.
up the
Sorry, no,
penny
it's
right
just a
there,
one.
yeah. 17 on 12.
Yeah. Ah, there was one over there. There was just one at the top of the thing there.
You know, it's interesting we talk about this too. Philip and I, you've heard us talk about this a number of times. There are hundreds of bag makers, right? You're a bag maker yourself. Thousands of bag designs.
Yeah, yeah.
The number of bags
crazy, right?
that show up on center court that look like each other when you're trying to figure out which bag is whose. It's insane.
It's
the
insane.
number of times that they show up together on center court.
Great little cut bag there, right to left from
Yeah, right to
Craig.
left, yeah.
Oof, goes
Kaleb
off.
goes into chase a little bit, takes one in. So as we continue to watch this World Singles Final here for the first ever ACO Europe Major, Kaleb Hurt comes in needing to double dip Craig Ervin, who is the king seed. If you're just joining us, when you've got us up on the big screen at the bar at the house, hopefully you got a cold one in hand or a good afternoon planned on your Sunday as these two exchange taters, exchange the wash, and will move their way back west to east. Finn, the loudmouth for the ACO, normally side by side with the Mississippi Ninja, Philip Barnett. I've not seen Philip kind of checking in to see what's going on here, but I know he's got a very, very busy schedule. Daniel Lilly, our ACO certified official for Europe. What a great weekend it has been at David Lloyd here, North Manchester. So many different experiences had by so many folks, and I think everybody's really happy with everyone they've met, everything they've done, and just can't wait to get back and talk it over with all their mates in the States.
What do you think then, Finn? Do you think we're going to go to extra time here and get that other game in here by the looks of it?
I don't know. I mean, at any point, well, yeah.
Well, there you go, there you go.
Did you ask me or Kaleb?
Caleb must have heard me there a little
He
bit.
must have. Going to come in hard push. He's going to leave one hanging up on the back and another one hanging up on the front, and there's one of Caleb's off the back.
One spot, yeah.
He's 10 on 9. That's a single. So
just a shout out to the winners of the UKCL blind draw as well, which was Nick Petit and Craig Smith. So both of them two have got a little trophy as well, which is pretty cool.
very good. And Craig comes to us from Scotland. He came in, and his son.
Came all the way from Scotland, yeah. When I say all the way, it's only like a 4.5, 5 hour drive.
Is that all? Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like we're just
So about 7 miles.
Yeah.
It's 7 miles. It's a 5-hour drive. That's one thing that we found, and I've used that joke time and time again. And as my better half reminds me, it hasn't been funny yet, but it is with all the building that's going on here in Manchester. I keep
crazy,
thinking
right?
if they had all these cars to go with all these apartments and all this residential, what's going to happen next? You're going to have to come up with flying cars.
Yeah.
You guys are going to have to invent
crazy,
flying
isn't it?
cars.
It is very busy. It's very busy. And Craig, he does. He just releases another 2 spot there. It goes to 20 now.
All right, so this is, some would argue, and you tell me what you think based on the play that you've had and the players that you play with. The first or the last point the hardest one to get?
Yeah, I would say the last one.
The
Without
last
a doubt,
one.
yeah. I would say the last one. We've seen it quite a bit today. Where although it's not the last point, people are 19-2 up and they lose 21-19.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right? It's like
I would agree with you.
You just can't get that last. It depends on your mindset. If your mindset is like, okay, I'm well ahead here. I've got to win. I've got to win one of the rounds. You end up actually losing. It's crazy.
Well, these two,
That's
they
a
will
nice
just
shot there.
pound on each other and pound on each other and pound on each other as they have time and time again. And if Craig does have what it takes to come back and take this game in just a single game, it will be a game for the ages, because right now, and this is what we call the fourth bag blues. He has every opportunity, all the space he needs to do it.
Nice, and he does it all.
Many times we see that bag just sit up on the board for another wash, but that's nicely done. He picks up a couple, takes back first bag. Here at David Lloyd, North Manchester, in Manchester, England. What a week and weekend it has been.
I've been impressed with how the players have taken to the boards as well. You know, they are a more speedier board because it's not really that humid, and they've really kind of adapted their games towards it, you know.
Well, and you see the sort of, I mean, they bring a Zuka bag full of cornhole bags. It's like a professional golfer walking out on the course and loading up what they think are the best clubs for that particular course.
Yeah.
It's amazing the detail that these guys can drill and gals can drill down to with their bag selection on, even within a given same day. You know, not day to day, but within a day.
Not too bad, that block. I don't think he was happy with it, but it's not too bad. He can.
We've seen it work for him before.
This could be the
key bag right now. See if he continues to bully it out to the left, and then that'll move it into a game 2. He says, not so fast. He's going to force Kaleb to go up if he wants to roll. And I don't think Caleb's going to roll on the slicker board. I just don't see him doing it.
Craig's back in position now, slightly.
A little bit. And,
there you go.
Cut in there and clean it up. Oof. Oh boy, the Scuba Steve.
Close.
Oh boy, that is it. That could be it for game 1.
That is it, ladies and gentlemen.
That'll do it. All right, so game 2 is now a one and done, as we've seen a number of times here on center court so far here in Manchester. It has been some great competition all the way down to the wire. We've seen very few blowouts on center court, which some cities we go into, and everybody gets there, and then they get their nerves. These two, neither one of them has nerves other than of steel into a one and done. So they have a little laugh. Game 1 under the belt of Kaleb Hurt, who has to double dip the king seed holder Craig Ervin right up the middle, as you would expect, to get the game started.
I love that though. They've been focused there for what, like 25 rounds there, and then a little camaraderie there. Just nice little laugh between them all. You know, there's still a little fun element into it, but like literally like 3%. The rest is like they are focused.
Yep. But as we typically see the case, look at Ashley Ervin over there. She's probably bitten all of her nails all the way down to the nub. She's more nervous for Craig than he is. Adrian's sitting under her blanket saying, "Come on, baby, we need that honeymoon money. Money moon, the money moon, let's go." All right, so the first couple bits of damage about to be reported. These guys, I haven't seen their PPRs through the course of the day. I don't have my normal setup in front of me. So, and my PPR wizard, the Mississippi Ninja, he's usually, hang on, let me check. And then he's got all that stuff at the tip of his thumb, unless his phone's dead, which is hilarious to me. Sometimes he goes, let me charge my phone and I'll get right on those PPRs. These two playing a little monkey see, monkey do right now. Kaleb comes in and cleans up nicely, which you would expect. That bag laying lower right. Craig can get that bag if he wants it, but he's going to play a little defense with a blocker. See if he can get Kaleb to come right to left, which he typically does. And right there, it's a nice bag because he's bunched everything up to force Craig to have to make a decision with that third bag, which he does. And now it's all stacked up, and this is where physics takes over.
Yeah, and on the last game there, the Craig's was 9.25 and Kaleb's was 9.95. So
yeah, well, that would explain it.
Yep, good PPRs there.
But he came in with every bit of brute force that he had right there, and Kaleb, recording the scores, doubles his lead from 4-0 to 8-0. So a snowman early on the board on a crisp day in Manchester. Finn, the loudmouth for the ACO, side by side with Daniel Lilly. Lest you think that Philip Barnett has taken some different sort of diction classes at the local university. Daniel Lilly sitting next to me here is the ACO Europe certified official, and what a crew. I think your crew seems very excited. This is very much a hub of activity around here through the course of the weekend. Your crew very excited to learn more about the Cornhole setup and really about tournament direction to this extreme.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's been a massive eye opener for them all. To be fair, they've all enjoyed it. Seeing great players like these two on the court, and
sure.
Some of them have even beat some good players as well. To be fair, throughout today and yesterday, which is really positive for them as well. So long may it continue. Long may it continue. I'm just very excited to go into season 20 as a ACO Europe director, and hopefully bring some more countries into the play as well.
Sure.
That's maybe a few warmer climates as well. That'd be nice. that'd be nice.
Yeah, I think Daniel right now is lobbying for ACO Barbados or something like that, maybe.
Yeah, ACO South Africa.
There you go.
It's kind of not Europe, but we'll get it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We got enough color schemes for logos. We can make it happen. Oh boy, and Craig missed a great opportunity right there to take a 4 spot. But he took the 2, so 8-on-2 now. Kaleb, this is a 1 and done, with Kaleb having taken the first game of what needed to be a double dip situation. If you're checking things out around the world, let us know in the comments section. Let's find out where you're watching from. We know Australia was checking in earlier. Certainly Scotland has been keeping an eye on the Smith family. Oh, it's all pinched up. That should be able to be easily flushed, though. Come in right to left and flush it out. Just the impact alone did the trick. Kaleb's built a little bit of a wall there to keep.
It's a nice 8 there from
Craig away.
Kaleb.
Yeah, that was.
We needed that one.
All right, so 8-on-4 it remains.
Kaleb currently throwing a straight 9, and Craig is a straight 8 at the minute. Dead on her.
Oh, and that would bear out, yeah. Again, we're in a 1-and-done situation now. Whoever wins this one will be our first ever ACO Europe World Singles champ.
We've got Joe Hartlin cheering on for Craig, with Matthew Ledbetter as well.
Sure.
And I've got my brother cheering on for Kaleb.
Equal time. And this is the point where, we've talked about this a number of times, a couple of bags. I think Kaleb thought he was going to yield a little bit more there, but, the images speak for themselves. There's only so much we can say, especially when you've got players of this caliber on center court, but the images just speak for themselves as you watch. Again, it's funny, Philip and I will talk about this. If you ever want to take just the straight video and add your own audio to it, we'd love to hear you call some of these matches, especially if you're at home, just hanging around and having some fun. As these two continue the dogfight here, 8-on-6 now. Craig is taking the first bag and tries to explore more of what the king seed has to offer, see if he can't pull it off. Over here spent some time with me while Ashley was working her way through, trying to get back to that final. Could have been a complete Ervin final had it gone a little bit differently, but no bigger cheerleader in the house for Ashley Ervin than you would expect. Her main squeeze, the king Craig Ervin, who has left one up and ungettable there on the left side, so that's going to cost him a couple. So Kaleb will increase his lead to 10-6.
Just a quick shout out as well to anyone that is on Facebook or Instagram that you can follow ACO Europe now as well on Facebook at ACO Europe and on Instagram at ACO Europe. So if you follow us, we'll try and follow you back. Nice
I'll tell you
rollback.
what, too. Yeah.
Crazy rollback there.
Yeah. These two have a very interesting bow. I mean, one of the best flat bags in the business, but it doesn't always do what he wants it to do. 9 times out of 9, it typically does, but then there's that half a point. I'm going to, before all is said and done, this is something I wanted to have happen before it's all done, but I wanted you and Frank to sit together and call some matches.
Yeah,
a little bit of a match. So Frank Gears, the Cornhole dude, finally has an opportunity to sit down. He has been around gathering signatures for some more history between the two of us, but I'm gonna give way because I want to hear the two of you bring this home.
Oh, okay.
So it's been
I
a pleasure,
appreciate
mate.
Cheers, Finn. Thank you
really
very
good.
much. It's
And
been
I'm
good.
really looking forward to more and opportunities to expand the ACO worldwide. And I know you're just the man to get it done. What a pleasure it has been. I'm going to yield the microphone over to the Cornhole dude, Mr. Frank Gears. Cheers.
Come into the booth, sir. Come into the booth.
Come into the booth with Daniel Lilly, now the man in charge. I better turn off all my apparatuses I've got right now so we don't get... what the hell is that? That only happens in Europe. Let's see. So where are we at? 10-10 right now, huh?
Yeah, 10-10. We're.
So Daniel, what do you think about the ACO coming over here? You bringing it over here, man, being a big part of everything that's gone on this weekend.
Yeah, it's been incredible. It's you know, we've built a mini monster already, I think, and it's only going to continue. You know, all the guys from the US have been absolutely amazing. You know, we had over 35, 40 players here from the US, which players and
13 states too.
Yeah, that's crazy. Crazy. And they've all been absolutely fantastic, all very friendly, and which we knew anyway. But it's just been fantastic, very helpful to the UK and European players as well. So yeah, it's been great and great to watch as well. It's been great to watch.
So 10-10, this game decides it all. You have a king of cornhole out there. You have one of our best players on the planet, in Kaleb Hurt, who is working on trying to get his first world title. But he's been player of the season a couple times now. This is exciting, though, coming down the wire here.
Yeah, both from throwing a 9.5 PPR as well, dead on the dot. So as the scoreline says as well, it's level.
Right?
It's level. Crazy.
So you got a pick right now? So if you had to make a call, who's it going to be?
Yeah, that's crazy. The stats are more or less identical, guys, at the minute. More or less identical. Oh, if I could call anyone, really, I would probably just push to Kaleb, but as a neutral, which I should be, I just want to sit here and enjoy it. I think Caleb's just got the extra shot game in there, personally, but it could be anyone. It could be anyone.
Craig's wearing the... Oh, look at that dart he just threw. Nice bag, Mr. Hurt.
He threw that bag. Definitely played darts the other night on Friday. Definitely, we all had a nice game of darts, didn't we, on Friday? And yeah, Kaleb needs to stick to cornhole because that's what he's best at. He did hit a bullseye though. He was very happy actually, and he just hit another bullseye there with that backdoor airmail.
So I want to believe that this might be Kaleb Hurt and Craig Ervin's first time outside of the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
We did end up having, 6 players from the UK ended up making the cut for the main event here.
Yes. Yeah, we 6 players made tier 1, which was great. We've actually got UK players take some trophies home as well, which is fantastic. Actually, we had obviously Byron Smith take home the juniors, and we had Nick Petit take home tier 3. So it was great. But yeah, guys, honestly, this has been an absolute fantastic event without a doubt. And these two guys are just showing the stellar performance that they're showing, really, to be fair. As Kaleb goes up and misses quite a fair distance, to be fair. Nearly missed the board, but it's unlike Kaleb. Craig takes a free spot there, and this is going to be a close.
So we're sending
game.
a few players over from the UK to the World Championships, right?
Yeah, so I mentioned to Finn before, there was a situation where the top European player would get free, not free, but they would get entry, they would get a hotel, they would get flights, but unfortunately it ended up being 3 dead heat spots. So I decided personally not to take my spot, and we give the other 2 spots to John Steins and Liam Smith. So both of them will be going over there as ACO European pros as well, which is great. So yeah, so it's really good.
Yeah, so it's been exciting, dude. And I tell you what, John Steins, who was involved with getting the boards and the score towers together for us, and you, and just meeting your whole team from the UKCL was incredible as well. So
yeah,
appreciate
definitely.
all the work that those 2 put into this thing this weekend.
Yeah, definitely, it's been fantastic.
Universal symbol for I have a frog in my throat, so yeah. I guess I'm back now.
But we've had a quick substitution, guys. Finn's just jibbed back in here because Frank was that excited to co-con with me. He's got too excited. He can't talk anymore. So.
And I tell you what, anybody that can keep Frank ears from talking has done something special. So congratulations, well done. 13-10. Craig Ervin over Kaleb Hurd. I did come over here and it's like, are you guys calling a golf tournament? What's going on over here? But no, that's great.
One thing we don't want is Frank to keel over in Europe.
Oh God, no, no, because I don't think he bought the international insurance.
Yeah, luckily we have an NHS over here, but
yeah, they don't. I don't think they
take it
too kindly to our insurance programs. So these guys put double 4-baggers in there just to remind you who they are, and they continue on 13-10. Craig Ervin again trying to defend that king seat with Kaleb having taken game number 1. It was 21-15, I believe.
Yeah,
if memory serves. So we're looking at a 9-8-3 and a 9-5-8. Respectively, Craig to Kaleb on the PPR. It has gotten very quiet in here. What's interesting, we see it at the World Championships, but not really anywhere else in the majors. When really great shots are made, people come to expect them from these players. So you don't hear a lot of applause from those who are sitting around. They're just mostly just sit in awe and watch. It's like, how in the world do they continue to do it, shot after shot, thousands of shots over the course of a weekend?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's we've got a nice crowd actually watching politely, and a couple of UK guys, and the UK guys are just staring in awe. To be fair. The other guys, what our guys are doing, they're looking at the actual players and seeing their technique. Where the American are actually watching the flight of the bag and just what it is normally, really. So.
Yeah. Well, again, you and I discussed this early on. It's right now in the infancy and the growth of the sport on this continent is more about offense. You will ultimately start to learn the technique of defense. It was a huge day for me as an announcer to realize one day when people would ask me about this, it's like, well, what is it? Just put it in the hole. I said, well, that's what you would think. But it's just as much about keeping the other player out of the hole at points in time. And it's once you are able to realize that you have to reconcile both of those things, that's when you really put together a full game that is formidable.
Yeah.
And these guys are doing just that right now. Try to keep the other guy out of the hole, and they'll just keep replacing blockers as long as it takes, except when you have that kind of ability and skill.
That was crazy.
Yeah, to come in over the top like that. So Craig has a great airmail game too, and he tried one, and it was a risk.
One of Kaleb's in there.
Yeah, it was a risk that was not worth the reward, and that's unfortunately one for Kaleb that didn't
showing off at the back there.
Yeah, you watch him
drag that back in somehow.
Oh, yeah, he tried to pull it back in a pantomime fashion. Nice bag by Craig to save the best he could, but I know he was trying to push that through, and there's an airmail just to say,
solid.
That's enough out of you, pal. So 13-10.
We've just had the venue manager come in, and he's just looking in awe. He's like, "Oh my God, what I'm watching here!" It's like watching Luke Little at the darts,
So clearly, these guys have zero respect for our dinner plans. And if you're watching at home, again, back in the on the East Coast, 4:53, just shy of 5 o'clock on your Sunday, just shy of 6 o'clock Central. And Craig not happy with that in the least, especially now that he had finally gotten it knotted Or between the two of them, they have knotted it up at 13. Not happy with that one on the back, but Kaleb had let him off the hook a little bit with the first one out to the left in the 9 o'clock position. So he's just got to put that in to minimize the damage. Oh, and he doesn't. He's not able to do it. He leaves it out to the outside of Kaleb's bag, if you can believe that or not. I believe the UK players. I'm looking at Jamie. Jamie, your comment there. I'm trying to get the full thing. It's got a little heart in front of it, and I can't read around it there, bud. We'll figure it out once we get some others in here, but we'll get back to the main action over here. Kaleb tried to come up and over the top and missed an airmail. I think the one thing I have noticed about this weekend, so many of these players have kind of gone back to basics, Daniel. They've gone back to the thing that got them here, and there's not as many flashy shots, and I say that right as Kaleb drags or just drains an airmail, but there haven't been as many of those kind of flashy shots. They're just doing meat and potatoes sort of gameplay here to get used to the conditions and up and over. Oh, and he tried it again and just snapped it off the back. This is going to be not a PPR helper right here, but Craig's going to come in and lay low, and that's nicely played.
You have to get that one there, to be fair. It was a lot of frustration happening now because they're coming to the closing stages.
I believe, Jamie says, I believe the UK players aim to get it in the hole.
Yeah, and not to play Cornhole. Yeah, Craig needs to, you are right there, Danny. Craig needs to pull this one back. He's got the game for it, though. He's got the game for it.
Yeah, no question, no question.
And there you go. He's going to try and disturb Kaleb's down the middle as much as possible.
But what's interesting about both Kaleb and his brother Isaac is that if you go in and play that game in the middle, they have so many different ways to just punish you. Whether it's up and over the top, driving straight through. Isaac has this shot he calls, as do many of the juniors, this bar of soap, where they're able to pull off 2 or 3 things at once. That's not something Craig wants to see. And are we going to see a double dip situation here? Oh no, Kaleb completely lets him off the hook. Craig comes in hot, tries to get just to corner the bag, but there's just not enough. I think the difference in the edge of the hole makes all that difference. And oh boy, Kaleb.
Wow.
So 10 on 8, so he'll pick up 2, so 20 to 14 becomes 20. So back to that hardest point to get in Cornhole.
Yep.
Does it just get cold in here? I feel a polar bear over at the top of me. Chandler Jones checking in from Alaska.
You've seen the round count, but you guys don't have it over here.
The round count, I think it's 637 rounds so far. So 20 on 16 here again live from the David Lloyd facilities here in Manchester. What a great club this has been. They were able to give us a couple of tennis courts, 3 tennis courts to be exact, to set up, and perfect layout for Cornhole. Just outstanding. Just outstanding. What a week, what a weekend, what a week plus it has been for those who have traveled from the States and for those who have come from all around the UK to be a part of it. Up and over. Oh, and Craig takes the high-risk shot and just lips it out from right to left. 18 rounds deep. In this game, too, Kaleb decides he wants to take a timeout to come down and look at things and see how he can put a final nail in this coffin. He's got a bag off the back.
I think he's gonna.
Does Craig? Yeah, Craig's is off the back, so now he's got one laying off to the top left, one laying off the back, one right in front. Kaleb's got 2 laying low down the front. He's gonna come in hot. I thought he might try to roll.
I think he might leave his last bag for this. You know, he might leave his last bag for the winner. I think if Craig just boards it,
gets it up. Oh, and he knocks one in. Nicely done. So he'll take 5 on 3 right now.
He's going to go for it. Yeah, he does.
Going up and over. Oh, there it is.
Game.
There's the kill shot right there. How about that? The double dip takes place. So what better way to end things than the first ever ACO Europe Cornhole World Singles Europe Championship. Nicely done. Well done. A king of cornhole gives way to the king seat in a double dip situation for Kaleb Hurt. He walks away with yet more of the hardwood. He's going to have to buy himself a separate bag to check home to get that doubles and the blind draw. But I'll tell you, what a weekend for Craig Ervin, Ashley Ervin taking the mixed doubles, the co-ed there, and what a weekend it was to finish. Daniel, we can't thank you enough, brother. Come in here, frog in your throat. Come in here. You got one last thing to say? Get in here. How about that? I mean, could you have written a better? Could you have written a better script?
That was so good, dudes. I mean, I had to step outside just because I was so mesmerized by your guys commentating.
Oh, stop it! He was choking on his gum. I know how it was, but what a finish!
But I gotta tell you, what a great finish there. And I tell you, the king to put on a display like that, and one of the best players, if not the best player on the planet, with Kaleb Hurt here. I mean, bringing it out to the UK has been special. This
as advertised.
As advertised. And Daniel Lilly, we couldn't have pulled this thing off without you. And everybody else around you, your friends, your UKCL group, the whole thing. It's been a spectacular trip, and we cannot wait to continue this movement forward.
Yeah. It's been amazing. It's I can't thank you enough as well. To be fair, bringing a very historic organisation over here. That's what it's all about. But the camaraderie, the fun, and a bit of cornhole in between that, you know.
Sure, right. Yeah, somehow we were able to put in a cornhole tournament on.
Well, we've just seen two amazing players, and it was kind of, self-predicting the way myself that we would see them two in the final, and it has been that. So, yeah, it's been great. I think we're going to get Kaleb over in a minute, just have a bit of a word as well. See how he thought of his European expedition and experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd love to get the king also over here.
Get them both over here. Yeah, we'll
see if we can grab them both. But
we had Craig over here when Ashley was playing to work her way back to what could have been a final between the two Ervins. So how amazing is that? But I mean, you think about this. Just as advertised, we have Becky Hurt. I was obviously over on the phone on the across the way. I don't know if she's on WhatsApp or what it is. Craig. We want to get Craig, and we want to get.
What a special moment, though, Finn.
Kaleb.
Really, this is so special. I mean, these two stallions of players, man. I'm going to let you do the carry on the discussion from here.
We'll keep Daniel here for one fight as we sign things off.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I just want to hear from both these two guys two special players in the ACO. I mean, these guys are incredible, and I'm going to let you do the talking because you're the loudmouth.
Well, I'm the only one left that can do any. You've done enough all weekend long, and so I'll tell you something. We built out these posters when we knew who was coming, and you guys and Kim Dice, every single one of you delivered on every single level, not just on a gameplay, but on an experiential level. So let's talk very quickly because you and I sat, Craig, while we watched Ashley play, and you talked about obviously being her biggest fan, the experience of coming here, the opportunity to possibly play her in the final, but you made it to the final in the king seat. You come as a reigning king of the King of Cornhole. Just sum it up if you can for me, and not just the experience, but playing against this guy again, because we laughed, we talked about it, said you can pick up an ACO center court and put it anywhere you want in the world, and it a lot of times looks very similar.
It sure does. I've had to play Kaleb 13 times now. I beat him once, and that was a king seat match to get here. Baby. I had some bags that didn't react the way that I wanted them to, but Kaleb's always tough. He throws a lot of bags in the hole. He's able to get around things that some people aren't able to, and his airmail's phenomenal. So my hat's off to Kaleb every time. He's the best player in the world.
All right, well, you know what? That remains to be seen, and we'll find out in July in Owensboro, Kentucky. But what a case you made for yourself yet again today. I mean, you guys go home with some hardwood for co-ed doubles. That's awesome. And Ashley, had a great run. You've got to go buy another suitcase probably to check another bag on the way home between the doubles win, the big blind draw, and now this. I mean, let's talk a little bit about your experience and what this means to you.
It was definitely neat coming visiting a different country. I mean, seeing all the different players and just getting to play with them and ask you questions.
Did you find a lot of that? Did you find a lot of opportunities? Craig and I talked about that.
We played with a couple of them today over the side.
It was a good time.
Little tutorial. It's a little tutorial, yeah.
Yeah, it did, and it didn't take them that long to start catching on to it either. So
Well, there were a couple of people here that I know that just belonged to the club that came in and had never even seen the game, and I think those are the guys you're talking about that maybe you came in and played with, and I saw them on the way out, and they're like, I actually went and said, I actually made 3 in the hole. I said, see how easy this is? He goes, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's a super easy game.
So talk a little bit about the experience. I mean, obviously we're 4,000 plus miles east of home, but to come over and to be able to see everything and to be able to still put away all the distraction of what the trip means, but still be able to step up and get used to the boards and the conditions and still play to the level you guys are used to playing.
Yeah. I mean, it ain't really no different than to
really?
me. Like, it's the same mindset. Like, that was the same mindset going into any other time when me and Craig play each other. I mean, it's just like I don't. The place it really didn't feel any different. I mean, felt the only difference about this is you don't have like hundreds of people like back home, like at the majors.
Yeah.
They're huge.
If the ACO is involved, it feels like home.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. So here's the deal. Richard Branson, if you're listening, and I know he is, he was probably watching, we need to get these guys to the moon or Mars or someplace so it finally feels different for them to play. And I know you're the guy to pull it off, so let's make that happen. No pressure, Daniel, but a tournament on the moon is our next goal.
And
so,
we got to give it up to Daniel Lilly here. He did a great job for the first international ACO tournament. He did his job. He did a great job. We had some technical issues at first, but that's not his fault. That's just technology is great when it works.
Yeah.
You know. And if it doesn't, Daniel Lilly, congratulations, sir, on a great tournament that you ran.
Well, you know, it's interesting. We could say he knocked it out of the park, but over here that doesn't make any sense at all. Except maybe
tennis court.
Maybe out of cricket.
Cricket, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe out of
cricket,
you knocked it over the barrier, we'll say. But I tell you, just as we advertised it, we looked at it and we thought, is this? What do we think is going to happen? What if we run into somebody over there that we've never seen before? And that was sort of what we had hoped. But you guys delivered the center court that we hoped for. We expected, I think, Daniel and his friends. I mean, obviously Steins and you guys, fantastic. Brother, I can't tell you how big it was to have Scotland in the house and having your son take home the juniors, our first ever actual international champion in the juniors division. Is he still over there playing?
Yeah, there he is.
Oh, there he is.
That's the man.
Right on. All right. Well, Byron, he nailed it, and he's been
Pettit
playing.
brothers from UKCL, man.
Yeah,
that was
absolutely.
a huge group, baby.
Great stuff, and we just expect it to continue to grow and continue to get bigger. So, Becky, it's good to see you. I know we're watching you across the way. Hey, she's finally in the house and not in the car. We thought maybe she took up an extra gig driving Uber just to figure out what was up over here. But I'll tell you something, it couldn't have been a better week plus, and certainly a better weekend here on center court. And the David Lloyd facility is outstanding. Daniel Lilly, step up here one more time, because as we have our champion and we have our king, and Kim Dice is here somewhere again. Come up here. We need our third poster child for the ACO. Come on up here and get in here. Let's get the three of you in here, and let's get Daniel in front, because there's only one way that I know how to sum this up based on what I know about his past with the Darts League, and I know there's one way you want to sum it up. So we'll congratulate Kaleb again, our first ever ACO Europe World Singles title holder, our King Seat holder, and a great weekend again for Craig Ervin. How about our women's champion here, Kim Dice? Nicely done. I will say this before I turn it over to Frank to wrap everything up here from center court, but it is very simply this. I think if you were scoring this in darts, it would be a 180. Yeah? All right, I'm Finn the Loudmouth for the ACO. He is Frank Ears, the Cornhole Dude, reminding you, as always, from the UK.
Keep on pitching.
Right on. Yeah, baby. Woo!
All right, good job, man. Thanks, John Sines. Thanks, UKCL.
Yeah.
Good stuff, boys.